not necessarily my favorite, but when he was a freshman, Zoe and Tariq and those guys used to make him do all the routes where he wasn't getting the ball, and he never knew that.
Oh, really?
They would tell him to get in. I told him to play a joke on him. They would tell him to get in, and he thought he was getting the ball, and he wasn't. He was like third or fourth in the progression, but he didn't know that. So he'd be just running full speed and just looking back for the ball, and it was not good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you, I guess, surprised at all that he's close to breaking that record, or did you expect something like that this year for him?
No, the record should be broken already. He's left 88 yards at least out there on the field. So no, the record should be broken already.
What's the best part about coaching Stanley?
He's a dog. He comes to work every day. He has no excuses. He leaves it all out on the field every day, not just in the games, in practice. And he's determined, and he's aggressive, and he wants to get better. He has no ego. He's what you want in a football player.
In reality, you've got two guys that could potentially break that record, in the same season. Maybe the best, receiving duo in Husker history in one season. What's it been like to see Stan and JD and just this whole wide receiver group kind of come together this year?
It's been good. Those guys work hard. They realize it's a blessing to be a student athlete and to have the main two things you got going on in life be a college education and football. So whenever they hit the field and whenever they get to the building, they're ready to learn, ready to play, come out and play hard. So I expected those guys to make some plays because they're talented and their work ethic, went along with that. So it's been awesome.
Is it hard to believe DeMornay is a senior?
It is. When you get attached to guys, you've been around them for so long, and the realization that it's almost over, that's always tough. But we'll be in touch.
Does he have the kind of skill set just between being a receiver and then the kinds of things he can do on special teams that he could try to keep playing football if he wants to?
You would think so. That obviously that's not up to me to decide, but guys that have his type of ability have gotten shot, so you would think he'd get a shot.
What's it like? Mike seems like he's been very consistent message-wise, attitude-wise through a trying year. What is it like working for him, and how have you seen that, I guess, from him through the season?
Yes, Coach Riley's awesome. He's like I've said before, he's genuine, he's thoughtful, he understands, he's realistic. There is a such thing as things not going right in life, and so he doesn't panic. We address him obviously, and we try to. He's more of a fixer than a blamer. So we try to fix. We try to get everything fixed.
This is kind of a random, not necessarily Nebraska question, but you had a couple guys, and Ryan Grant, Dante Adams had big days yesterday that you coached. During the season, you can't really watch what they're doing, but how much do you kind of check box scores or that kind of thing to just see how those guys are progressing as they go about their careers?
I communicate with them during the season. I talked to Tay the night of the game after he got home, and I talked to RG that same. I talked to both of them Sunday, so I communicate with those guys throughout the week anyway.
How rewarding is that for you, for their success in the NFL and where they were? And they weren't at major universities. They were kind of what people would consider outposts for college athletics, and to have the success that they had.
I'm just happy that they're successful in general. Obviously, it's awesome to be successful as NFL, football players. I'm just happy that they're successful in general. When you're around guys and they put in the work ethic and they put in the dedication, to reach a certain point, it's always satisfied. You're always satisfied, feel satisfied when they end up reaching their goal. So I'm happy that they reached the goal that they worked so hard for, because I was there when they put the work in, and they deserve it from that regard. And so that part I enjoy the most.
Do you use those guys as examples for players that you have on current teams or recruits or anything like that?
I do, just in terms, because as you go along in coaching, you run across guys that remind you of former players. And since those guys have, Devontae, RG, and some other ones, since they've been here to train, you know, the Huskers now have seen them and they know them, and they also keep in touch with them. So, you know, it's a great tool to use because they can relate to what you're saying and they know exactly who you're talking about. So it is useful.
Thank you.